Hello my dear students, welcome to computer science class. Let us continue with our chapter, that is word processing. So we have last two more options we need to discuss under the format menu. The first what we are discussing today is paginate. So this paginate option will allow us to add the different format page numbers onto your document. Okay, this one I'll be showing you practically. Next we have is the editing option. Under the editing option, we have two modes, that is insert mode and the overtype mode. You can manually switch between the insert or the overtype mode. See, whenever you're typing any text into your document, by default we will be in the insert mode. Okay, so if you want to go for the overtype mode, you can manually switch by choosing an option, and when the overtype mode is turned on, so if your cursor is somewhere in the middle of the word and if you start typing, it will start replacing the whatever the content you are typing, right? It will start replacing the next characters whatever it is encountering. So that is how the the overtype mode will work. And if you want to come back to the insert mode, you need to turn it off, and then by default you will be in the insert mode. Insert mode will help you to type the letters in the middle of the word. Okay, so I'll be practically showing this overtype and the insert mode. The next menu we have is the Windows menu. So in this Windows menu, whenever we have any multiple programs open of different application it might be, we can switch between those different windows of different applications, alright, or the different programs using the Windows taskbar, or by clicking on to the shortcut button, that is Alt plus Tab. You can click it and repeatedly until you get the desired window. Like this, you can switch on to the different applications, right? In that, we have another option in the Windows menu, that is the split menu. So the split menu will let you to split a single document. A single document itself, you can split it so that you can weave your content part by part at a once. You can weave it, and you will be getting a independent scroll bars. You will be getting vertical as well as a horizontal scroll bar. You will be getting an independent scroll bar for each of the splitted windows in a single document. So all these options, let me show you practically. Fine. Okay, herein I have opened a dummy Word document for you all to show the how to have a paginate option. When you clearly observe, here in the first page I have the table of contents, and right from the second page I have the content. Okay, second, third, and followed by totally we have 4 pages we are having. Now how to have the paginate? See, when you give the page numbers, definitely by default it will take the page numbers right from the first page itself. So how to have the page number? You can go for the insert here. You have a page number option here. Click on to where you want, top of the page or bottom, or the page margins in that you want to have. Okay, right now I'll go, or you can place the page numbers even at the current position where your cursor is pointing at. Okay, so what I'll choose is I'll go for the bottom of the page. When you click onto this bottom of page, you can choose the layout as how you would like to weave your page numbers. So I'll choose this one. If you observe here, table of contents, we directly we'll be getting into the header and the footer. Okay, so the table of contents, this page at the bottom, if you see, I got the page number 1, and the next we have the page number as 2, followed by the page number 3 and 4. Now usually the table of contents shouldn't get as a page number 1. Then what should I do for this? Then click on to the option here, different first page, different from the first page. Click on to that. If you observe, the table of contents will not have its page number, but the next page, if you observe, it is taking as 2, but actually it should start from the first, right? So then go for the page number option here. Here we have the format page number. Okay, so what you should do is you can choose a different formats. If you are if you're not do want this format, you can choose a different one. I'll take by default this same format. I'll retain it and start at what you should click on to here as give manually the start at 0, and just click on to the OK. When you click on to the 0, carefully observe the table of contents page doesn't have the page number. The next page, when you click, when you come to, you have the page number as 1 and you have the page number 2 followed by the page number 3. Okay, so I'll just close the header and footer. You can clearly weave. Table of contents doesn't have the page number, it is having the page number 1, 2. So this is how exactly the you can paginate your document with the different formats and as per your requirements. Clear? So the first page might be the cover page, then it might be the table of contents. Okay, so you can skip those 2 pages, and from the right, from third page, you can make your paginate option. Now the next one is the editing. So when I come to this particular text here, editing is by default, as I said, we are into the insert mode. So when you type any content here, okay, I'll just place the cursor over here and just a simple text. I'm typing some contents here over here, and it is helping me to insert that content whatever I'm typing. What if I get into the overtype mode? So if to get into the overtype mode, but before that, you look at here, it is showing right now we are into the insert mode. If I want to get into the overtype mode, so you need to just click on to the file option here. Here we have options. Okay, click on to the options here. Then here we have something known as advanced as an option. Click on to the advanced, and here we have the use the insert key to control the overtype mode. You need to enable this one, and use the overtype mode. You need to enable these 2 options. When you enable it and click on to OK. When you click on to the OK, if you observe, you are right now into the overtype mode. Now try to type some content here. Can you see the software is getting overtyped? Now if you see the generally, the word is getting overtyped. I hope you are able to see the difference. This is how you can switch on from overtype to the insert mode. Even if you click on right click here, okay, here you can see right now we are into the overtype mode. What if you doesn't want this overtype mode? Just disable this one, and then you can continue with your typing here. Okay, here go back to the options menu here, okay, and disable those in the advanced, and then okay, just disable those one and click on to the OK. So here and see, you're back again into the insert mode. Clear? So this is how you are able to use the insert and the overtype mode. Now I'll just retain the contents back again here to the insert mode. Okay, now let me show you the Windows menu. Okay, to show this the Windows menu option, I need to keep the multiple windows to open. So here almost I have 3 Word documents kept open and 1 Word PPT it is running in the background here. So in the weave option, in the weave menu, I have an option known as the split option here. Okay, before I go to the split option, I need to switch on to the multiple windows. Okay, then I can just click on to the Alt plus Tab. If you observe, Alt plus Tab, so whichever you want, you can switch on to. I want to go for my desktop, click on this. Immediately I can switch on to my desktop. So if I want to go to my PPT, click on to this my PPT. Okay, Alt plus Tab. I want to go to this particular window, right? I got this one clearly. I hope you are able to understand how the Alt Tab, that is Windows menu, work. Now I would like to show you the split windows. This particular same document, I wanted to weave it in a split form. So if you click on to the split window, see where you would like to split it. It is asking you can place it. So I want to split the same document here. If you split it, see the first half your document you are able to weave here entirely, and here within the same one I can weave. You click on to this one. I'll just place it above. Okay, you right from here you can weave the second half of your document. Even here also you can weave the full document here. Okay, you can view the document here also. Now somewhere, maybe if you are editing something, you want the rest half of the what content is in there in third and fourth page, you wanted to show it in the first page, some of part of that, then you cannot every time just scroll to the third and fourth page and every time you see the content and type it. In that case, the split menu will help you to view your document part by part. Then, as I said, you'll be getting separate scroll bars also for each of your document. You can even click onto the new window if you want. Currently, if you want the new window of the same document, how many number of times you want, then you can click on this. The same document will be appearing always in the new document, and by itself it will rename it as open source 2, whereas the earlier was open source 1. So these are the different options. Now let me show you the next option is how to have an embedded object like organizational chart and mathematical equation. Okay, just close this one. So how to have an embedded object is, as already we have seen this one, go to the insert, and here we have an option known as object. We have an one of the option in your textbook as to have an embedded object as an organizational chart. What is this organizational chart? So these are used to show the relationships of objects or the people with each other. What kind of relationship? See, in a company you have some superior person, manager or something, chairperson, and under them we have some subordinates. So this organizational chart will show you the relationship between the different people with each other. A superior objects will have a higher level than its subordinates, and then the subordinates will have their co-workers under them. Co-workers, how many are there? All they have has the same level. So to insert that, click on to the insert tab. Under that you have to go for the object. So when you have an object here, somewhere you will be having an MS organizational chart 2.0. If you observe carefully, I don't have that option actually, but that is in the older versions of MS we have that. So here I don't have that MS organizational chart. I don't have that option. So if you have that option, if you just click on to the OK, that particular chart will be placed onto your Word document. Similarly, we have mathematical equations. Okay, suppose if you have some complex mathematical operations, wizard, if you want to place onto your Word document, then we need to click on to this same object option. Here you will be having that is Microsoft equation 3.0. This is an embedded object. So my older version of MS Word, I had that actually, but here I don't have. If you have a mathematical equation, that is MS Word 2.0 or 3.0, a mathematical equation 3.0, if you have that, you click on to that particular equation wizard will be placed onto your Word document. Now I'll be showing you I would like to show the MS Excel worksheet. I would like to place it onto my Word document. I can embed. That means a different application I can place it onto my Word document. So I would like to have an Microsoft Excel worksheet I want to place on my document. So I'll just choose this one and click on to the OK. When you click on to the OK, can you see this is Excel is a different application, but I got it onto your Word document here. So in that case, you can type in whatever the contents you would like to have. You can just put it column names or whatever the data you would like to have. You can just see here the MS Excel sheet has been placed onto your Word document. Clear? Now again, as per your textbooks, we have a different options here, that is again like copy and move. Okay, and then we have formatting features, spelling check and all these options I have already shown you practically. They have just given as elaborated, okay, with the different steps they have given already. Those steps, how to insert, how to use those all options I have already shown you. Let us move on to the last part of our that is this word processing is very important and a very interesting one. That's the mail merge. Now what is this mail merge? Mail merge has been extensively used in the word processing. Okay, this mail merge will help you to type the letter only once, and the same letter you can send it to the n number of recipients at the same time. See, manually if you do for every time you need to write the letter, and you need to write to, from, again you need to write the subject, you need to write the content. Okay, that's how usually we are able to write the letters to the n different number of recipients manually. But by using the mail merge option, what happens, you can just write the letter once and send to the n number of recipients at the same time through the mail you can send, or you can take a printout and then post it. Okay, so that's what is the mail merge. So this mail merge would help you to combine with a list of addresses and send it to all those addresses this particular letter what you're going to type. Now where do you actually create this list of addresses? From where you're getting those addresses? Those addresses you can use the Excel sheet. Okay, you from Excel you can just you can merge the two documents, that is your Word document you can merge with an Excel sheet, and then you can get all those addresses from the different application, and you can have the to and from address, right? So therefore the merged documents involves the merging of two documents, that is a main document which contains the text to be sent to all those addresses, and the data source. Data source is where we are getting the list of all those addresses to whom it should be sent. Clear? And the lastly is we need to choose an appropriate information from the data source. Say for an example, your data source may contain like first name, last name, okay, the phone number, their address, apart from that their salary, the employee name, the department they belong to. It may consist of different kinds of information also, but right now when you are sending a letter to someone else, you need just an appropriate information, their name, their address, their locality, their pin code, their phone number. So only few details you required. So we need to choose an appropriate information from the data source whenever we are going to merge and whenever we are going to send the letter to the different number of recipients through the mail merge option. Now let me show this practically how the mail merge will actually work. Okay, let us come back to the Word document here. I'll just retain the things. Now herein under the mailings, okay, we have something known as start mail merge. Click on to the start mail merge option here, students, and then click on to the step-by-step mail merge wizard. Let me take a new document before to this. So Ctrl+N will place me the new document, mailings, start mail merge. Click on to the step-by-step mail merge wizard. So when you click on to the step-by-step, so already how to create envelopes and how to create the labels I have shown it in manually. Now this time I'm going to take the letters. Using this mail merge options, you can even create the envelopes as well as labels also. Now I would like to have a form letters here. So I'll click on to this letters, let it be by default. And here I'm choosing the next step, that is starting the document. Click on to this option. Okay, now I'm going to use the current document itself. Okay, I'm going to use the same document. Within the same document I would like to have to and from address. Okay, then what I'm going to have is select the recipients. Click on to the select recipients. So recipients, one thing is you can browse it and merge this Word document and the other wherever the Excel sheet you have typed your data. But right now I would like to type a new list for you so that I can show you how you can create a data source. Okay, click on to the type a new list. Once you choose this one, and you have to click on to the option that is create. Once you create, see you're getting different kinds of options. Whichever you want you can select it. Okay, so what I'm going to type it here, title I'm going to type it as Mr. Alright, and I'll go to the first name, I'll take it as Rakesh. Okay, the last name I'll take it as Vittal. Okay, company name I'll take it as Suman Enterprises. Okay, address line I'll take it as you can take an address. So I hope these are enough for me. And if you want to have one more recipient, then you can go for new entry. Click onto the new entry. Here again I would like to give Mr. Suresh. Alright, and the last name I just give as here Bangera. I'm just taking the dummy company. I would like to say it as Sudarshan. Company name Sudarshan Enterprises. Alright, and then city, I'm just going to take it as Hubli. Alright, I'll take one more recipient, new entry here. This time I'm going to take Miss. Okay, then the first name I'm going to give here as Pooja. Okay, I'll give the last name as BM. Okay, the company name, I'll just give a dummy company name, that is XYZ. I'll just give a company name, and here I'm going to give as Dharwad. Alright, so these are the things. If you want to delete any entry, you can click on to the delete. Okay, next what I'll just click on to, okay, now this is what is your address list, this is what your data source, and click on to the okay. Once you click onto the okay, it is asking whether you would like to save it. You have to give a file name for this. So I'm going to give here as address 1. Already I had created one here which is stored here in, okay, and just say for address 1 I'm going to store it and then go for save. So these are the things what you got. If you want to change the name of your data source, then click on to the edit. If you want to make, I don't want to make the changes, so just cancel it. So and click, it is showing you whether are these mail merge, see these are mail merge recipients. Okay, are these correct information? Then if you say click on to the okay. Next it is asking you to write your letter. Okay, just go for the write your letter, and then you can have the two address here. So I'll just automatically write the letters here. So this is a dummy letter format I have taken, I have typed it. So here it, next you need to click on to the more items. Click on to the more items. So it is asking so many fields were there in our address. Okay, you need to select which one field you would like to print it onto your letter form. Okay, so before to that you need to place your cursor where exactly you need the recipient's address here. I need the recipient's address to appear right from here. Okay, then click on to the more items, or you can even go for insert merge field here. So I'll be clicking here more items. So I would like to have the title first. Insert, observe here you're getting the title. Next I would like to insert first name. Okay, insert. Similarly last name, insert. I had a company name, insert, and the address line 1. Only these fields I had given the data. So whichever fields you need. So maybe I might have address line 2 I might have skipped, and I have given city at the when I was typing the address list. So you can choose city and insert zip code, whichever you want. Okay, home phone, work phone, all these things as per your wish. So I'll just, after these, okay, I have inserted these fields, I'll just click on to the close. Now you need to make a format. How do you want? So place a cursor, okay, and give a gap here. The first name, okay, last name. I want the company to appear onto my next new line I wanted to appear. So as you need, you can make the adjustment. Now once if it is done, you can go for preview your letters. So click on to the preview your letters. See the first recipient to address, by default it has come Mr. Rakesh. The body of your letter remains the same, thanking you, everything remains the same, only the to address will be changed. So once you get this one address, you can go for the print. You can edit recipients, or you can just give the merge. You can directly go for Control P and get the letter printed. Okay, what if you want to go for the next recipient? So next record, you can click it here or else here, that depends on you. So see Mr. Suresh Bangera. Next one, Miss Pooja. If you want the previous one, you can click on. So after that, complete the merge. See here you are getting the print option. If you give for the print, so this particular form letter will be printed for you. So this is how the mail merge option will work, students. So this actually completes your word processing chapter. I hope all the options what we have discussed under the word processing are clear for you. Thank you, students. Take care of yourself.